Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian Caro, and today we are gonna start to talk about some different topics related about four different theories about international business. I'm gonna be with my colleague, which is Luis Soler. Hi, Luis.
Hi, Sebas.
How are you,
Nice to
Luis?
meet you here.
Nice to meet you. So
I,
together we.
I'm glad to be here to discuss with you this
Mhm.
to discuss these theories about the about security and how they explain it.
Yeah,
Is
that's good.
especially in this moment, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Also, only to know to the people that are sharing are listening this video, we were checking different videos about why Pakistan is a terrorism attraction. Obviously, we check another different kind of websites to understand better
Mhm.
and to link how the theories are still working in this time. So,
Correct.
so that's good. So to start, as I mentioned before, we are gonna discuss how national security can be understood for international relation theories, which are realism, liberalism, the third one is constructivism, and the fourth one is uncritical theory. We
Correct.
also use the case of Pakistan and global terrorism to make it more concrete.
Correct. Yeah, that's right, Sebastian. And just let's start with the first one, that is
Yeah.
realism. It is important to mention that these four theories that we are going to discuss uh, are part of the international relations.
Mhm.
And let's start with the first one, the realism.
Yeah.
This theory, in this theory, basically the realists argue that the international system is anarchic. This means basically that there is no government to guarantee security, and for them, for those who stand with the realism, the states are the main actors, and survival depends on power, especially the military power.
Oh, that's
So
good.
you
This
can tell us about an example, Sebastian,
yes,
of
yes,
this
that's good.
realism.
I was thinking I will search about some kind of examples around the world that it was in
Okay,
this case. So I want to talk about why not talk about September 11th, yeah, September 11th,
September
which
11. Okay,
yes, which was an iconic event that happened in the United States because the United States acted in a very realistic way. It used military
correct,
force in Afghanistan and Iraq to eliminate what it was as a threat. In that case of Pakistan,
correct.
Realin explained why neighboring countries see it as dangerous and try to contain that risk by strengthening their own military strategies, which is a
That,
good way to understand about the rallying, which is the first theory.
yeah, that's correct, Sebastian. Basically, the September 11
Yep.
is was the like an terrorist attack that it basically this story was never again and never the same with this event, as you mentioned. So it is a great example, Sebastian. Let's talk about the second theory. It is called the liberalism. Uh, to avoid the liberalism, they have a different approach to security. Liberals believe that insecurity can be reduced through cooperation, institutions, and diplomacy. Also, it's important to mention that they consider that the states don't always need to compete, and instead they can work together. So I know that as the previous theory, you have a good example for us.
Yeah, of course. So a good example about liberalism I'm gonna talk about is the European Union share counter-terrorism policy. By
Okay.
exchanging intelligence and creating common strategy between them, states become stronger together. So in
Mhm.
Pakistan, this is the main topic that we are talking about.
Yeah.
Liberally, would argue that international aid education programs and cooperation with organizations like the National United Nations are the key to addressing the roots of terrorism, not just fighting with weapons. So that's good to understand this kind of point.
So it is important to mention here that the European Union was part of this
Mm-hmm.
war against terrorism that started the United States, correct?
Yep.
Especially France and the United Kingdom
Yes. That's
in
totally
that
sure.
specific moment, correct? Okay, let's move on to the third theory is constructivism. The constructivism adds another dimension, and it is important to mention that for them, threats are not only material, but also they are shaping ideas and identities. Security for them depends on how the states perceive each other, and Pakistan, as we've been mentioned here, is an example of this theory. This country is often described as a terrorist hub in international media. This identity influences how often the other states interact with it, and also how sometimes this country is being isolated. It is important to mention here that Pakistan was the country where the Mujahideenis were created, and where the Taliban's like Osama bin Laden was
Yep.
stay there during this war with the terrorism.
Yeah, that's totally sure. So as we mentioned before, we already talked about three different theories. Each one has
Yeah.
different way and different samples to know
Hmm.
why it's important for our environment, about how it works, the our how it works in true the real life. But to finish, I start to talk about the last one, which is critical theory, which
Okay.
means which means about including Marx's perspective, argue that
Okay.
insecurity is linked to inequality and exploitation. From this view, terrorism doesn't appear randomly. It grows in contexts of poverty, exclusion, and domination by powerful states. I would like maybe you know more experience about this topic because it's more common in contexts and in developing country, but we are talking about only Pakistan. So I want to know if you have any idea or examples to link better this theory with a real example.
Yeah, Sebas, for this specific theory and our last one theory, the critical theory, I bring this example that in many countries consider that
Yep.
the United States intervention in the Middle East were not only about security but also about economic interest. We already knew how they create like a threat from Iraq, saying that they have massive weapons of
Mm-hmm.
destruction, but
Yep.
it was false. This the
Oh.
same media press from the United States revealed that it was false. So it was basically they went there for the oil. So this is an example for this theory.
Yep.
And these dynamics sometimes create radicalization, as we already mentioned, with the case of Osama bin Laden. When he was there in Saudi Arabia,
Yep.
the was the first with the first war of the Gulf. They it was when they born like a terrorist group. So the
Yeah.
critical theory will say that they really address I mean, to really address the terrorism, the world has to reduce global inequalities and also the power imbalances that
Yeah,
are there.
that's totally sure and unfair in my perspective because, as you know, always we have the big the big countries which has the powerful, which has all the threats or has all the ways to
Yeah,
do as they want, and sometimes they use this
correct.
power to do bad things as you mentioned about the Middle East, especially with the problem we interested with the oil, some more economic reason instead of help the people, help the country that they need. So that story for me is totally unfair, but it's good to know this kind of point and really appreciated your point, and that's really good. But
Thank you.
to summarize, to make a conclusion about these four theories, I want to sum up, maybe to be clear again. So I'm going to start with the realism emphasize in survival and military power. The second one, liberalism, truth in comparison and institutions. The third one,
All right.
constructivism, looks at an ideas and identity. And the fourth one, and critical theory, points to inequality and global structure.
Correct, Sebas. And just to add to this conclusion, I just
Yep.
want to mention that this perspective shows us that national security is not just about armies. It is
Mm-hmm.
about politics, economics, and even the way we think of and talk about threats. Understanding the terrorism, especially like in cases like Pakistan, requires looking through all of these different lenses, and also a current and an actual example is the war in Gaza. You
Yep.
know, Israel has the Iron
Yeah.
Dome, and
Mm-hmm.
even with all the mega weapons that they have and the support from the United States, Hamas was able to get into the Israel territory
Yeah.
and infiltrate the Iron Dome. So even with the powerful armies, there's always a leak when the terrorists can go on. So yes, Sebas, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your thoughts about these theories
Yeah.
and to abord this topic about security and security for nations.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And also to let you know that, as you know, we are studying finish our career international business. So this kind
Right.
of theories are really important to have a big knowledge to understand how is the world is working right now. How is the world was working before, because it happened before and it happening right now. So it's a good
Correct.
point of view for our career. So I really appreciated your points again. I would like to share more opinions, but maybe in a different topic, a different kind of continent. Today was related to Pakistan. And thank you for watching again, and see you in the next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.